The city of Kuru had a way of weaving stories into whispers, and whispers into fires that burned through every heart. Among its lush greenery and vibrant markets, a heavy silence often hung over Beatrice's home. She was beautiful, with skin the color of polished mahogany and eyes that once sparkled with laughter. But in her silence lay the weight of her barrenness, a word whispered too loudly by neighbors, an unspoken verdict that gnawed at her soul. Beatrice had been married to Daniel for nearly 8 years. He was a man of quiet strength, his broad shoulders bearing the burdens of a society that demanded children as proof of a man's legacy. Yet, Daniel loved Beatrice fiercely. "We will have our time," he would say, cradling her in his arms when tears stained her cheeks. But his patience was a balm that only soothed, it never healed the wound. Whispers had grown louder with every passing year, each family gathering, and every market visit. "When will your child arrive, Beatrice?" they would ask with poorly veiled pity. Her friends, the women in the neighborhood, had started avoiding her, afraid her misfortune might be contagious. Tracy, her childhood friend, was the only one who remained steadfast. Tracy was everything Beatrice was not: vibrant, fertile, and a mother of 3. She was the kind of woman who carried her blessings like jewels and never made Beatrice feel less for not having her own. Tracy's visits were filled with laughter, stories, and quiet reassurances. But desperation is a poison that twists even the purest bonds. One night, after another tense dinner with Daniel, Beatrice turned to him with a proposition that would unravel everything. "Daniel, I have a solution. Tracy is my friend, she can carry our child," she said, her voice trembling yet resolute. Daniel's brows furrowed. "What are you saying, Beatrice? Have you gone mad?" "It's not madness," she snapped, her voice breaking. "She's willing to help. She can give us what I can't. This isn't just for me, it's for us, Daniel. For our family." Daniel refused at first, appalled by the suggestion. But Beatrice was relentless, her words chipping away at his resolve until he finally agreed, though his heart weighed heavy with doubt. Tracy, with her ever-giving nature, agreed to the arrangement, though unease flickered in her eyes. "If this is what you truly want, Beatrice," she said, "I will do it for you." What began as a fragile plan to mend a broken heart soon became a storm that would tear them all apart. Months passed, and Tracy became pregnant. The village buzzed with curiosity, unaware of the secret that bound the 3. But it was during this time that Beatrice noticed a change in Daniel, how his laughter came more easily in Tracy's presence, how his once cautious gazes now lingered. One evening, Daniel returned home later than usual, his eyes avoiding Beatrice's. When she confronted him, the truth spilled out like poison. I think I love her," he confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. Beatrice's world crumbled. The friend she trusted, the husband she loved, and the child she yearned for had all become part of a betrayal too painful to bear. The jealousy that bloomed within her was dark and consuming. She could not lose Daniel, not to Tracy, not to anyone. As the weeks passed, Beatrice's mind churned with plans. But just as she began to plot her revenge, a revelation surfaced, one that would turn the tides of love, trust, and loyalty. And when the dust finally settled, the small city of Kuru would have another story to whisper about, the story of Beatrice, Tracy, and Daniel, and the seed of betrayal that bore bitter fruit. Beatrice's nights became restless, her mind replaying Daniel's confession over and over like a haunting tune. He loved Tracy. Not just gratitude, not admiration, but love, the kind that once belonged to her alone. The betrayal cut deeper than she could have imagined, and yet she couldn't let go. Daniel and Tracy continued their arrangement, though neither spoke openly of their feelings. The child growing in Tracy's womb, meant to be Beatrice's salvation, now felt like a living curse. Beatrice looks thinner these days, 2 friends whispered to another at the supermarket. Perhaps the stress of Tracy's pregnancy is too much for her, replied another. But why is Daniel spending so much time at Tracy's house? Rumors began to swirl, a storm brewing on the horizon. Beatrice tried to hold her head high, but the cracks in her facade were showing. One day, Tracy came to visit Beatrice. Her belly was round, her face glowing with the life growing inside her. But her eyes were clouded with guilt. "Beatrice, we need to talk," she said, her voice hesitant. Beatrice stiffened. "What is there to talk about, Tracy? You've already taken everything from me." "No," Tracy protested, tears welling in her eyes. "You asked me to do this for you, and I agreed because you're my friend. I didn't mean for things to change." "But Daniel, don't you dare say his name." Beatrice snapped, her voice rising. She pointed an accusing finger at Tracy. "You were supposed to help me, not destroy my marriage. Do you think I don't see the way he looks at you? The way you look at him?" Tracy hung her head, her tears falling freely. "I didn't plan this, Beatrice. I never wanted to hurt you. But you need to know the truth, Daniel and we've talked about being together." Beatrice staggered backward as if struck. Her heart pounded in her chest, a mixture of rage and despair coursing through her veins. She felt the walls closing in, her once cozy home now a prison of betrayal. After Tracy left, Beatrice sat alone in the dark, her mind racing. The whispers of the neighbors, the ache of betrayal, the growing life inside Tracy, it was all too much. Something had to change. She couldn't lose everything, not without a fight. But fate, it seemed, had its own plans. It was a stormy night when Daniel returned home, drenched and weary. Beatrice waited for him in the sitting room, her face calm but her eyes burning with intensity. "We need to talk," she said, her voice steady. Daniel sighed, avoiding her gaze. "Not tonight, Beatrice. I'm tired." "No, tonight," she insisted, standing up. "I've stayed silent long enough. I know about you and Tracy, Daniel. I know everything." He froze, guilt etched across his face. "Beatrice, I didn't mean for it to happen this way." "Save your excuses," she interrupted. "You broke your vows, Daniel. You broke my heart. But I won't let you throw everything away for a moment of weakness." Daniel's expression hardened. "Weakness? Beatrice, do you know what it's like to live with someone who only sees you as a means to an end? You don't love me, you only love the idea of having a child. With Tracy, I feel alive." His words were like a dagger to her chest. Beatrice clenched her fist, her composure slipping. "If you think I'll let you walk away from me, you're wrong. You think Tracy is better for you. Let's see how you feel when the truth comes out." "The truth?" Daniel asked, narrowing his eyes. Beatrice smirked, her voice dripping with venom. "Did Tracy tell you about her secret? About the husband she left behind in another village? About the child she abandoned?" Daniel's face paled. "What are you talking about?" "Oh, you didn't know. She's not as perfect as you think, Daniel. And when the village learns the truth, they'll see her for what she really is." The days that followed were filled with tension and confrontation. Tracy, now visibly shaken, tried to defend herself, but the rumors spread faster than wildfire. The village turned on her, their once admiring glances now filled with disdain. As the truth unraveled, so did another revelation, one that Beatrice could never have predicted. Tracy's unborn child wasn't Daniel's. It was her estranged husband's, conceived just before she came to Kuru. She had agreed to Beatrice's plan out of desperation, hoping to start anew and provide a better future for her child. When Daniel learned the truth, he was devastated. The bond he thought he shared with Tracy was built on lies. And Beatrice, though vindicated, found no solace in the outcome. She had pushed everyone she loved away, leaving her more alone than ever. In the end, Beatrice sat by the window of her quiet home, staring out at the small city she had once called her world. The child she had longed for, the marriage she had fought to save, and the friendship she had cherished, all gone. But as the sun set over Kuru, she whispered a prayer, not for a child or a husband, but for peace, a peace she hoped would come with time.